Hey guys, really just another day that I enjoy being able to be with you. Let me tell you a little story here. There was a guy, he asked a girl to go to a dance, and she agreed and said she'd be willing to go. So he decides to go rent a suit. Well, the rental has a very long line, so he waits and he waits and he waits, and finally he ends up getting his suit. He decides, okay, well, I think I'll go buy her flowers. So he goes to the flower shop, and the flower shop has a really long line as well. So he waits and he waits and he waits until he finally is able to buy the flowers. He picks up the girl, and they go on their way to the dance. And there's a long line to just to get into the dance. So they wait and they wait and they wait. And finally they get themselves into the dance. And the guy offers to go get the girl a drink. And she says, yes, could I please have punch? So he goes to the drink table, and here's the good news. There was no punchline. Well, maybe you got that, and maybe you think it's funny, or maybe you don't. But and maybe it'll be a little funny when you finally get the joke. But you know what's not funny? Waiting is not funny. And being patient is not something that we laugh about all that often. You know who had to actually do a bunch of waiting? Was a guy by the name of Thomas, the disciple that we know. And we pick on the guy pretty good because he doubted Jesus' resurrection. But the truth really is, so did the rest of the disciples. They all doubted whether Jesus had come back to life or not until they actually had that moment where they got to see him. But Thomas, he really had to wait. 8 days, at least, anyhow. Now, why did he have to wait? I don't know why Thomas had to wait. Dumb luck, I suppose, for not being there when Jesus had shown up the first time in front of all the disciples. But either way, he had to wait. But when the time came for him to see Jesus, it was pretty sweet. John chapter 20 and verse 24 says this. Now Thomas, also known as Didymus, one of the 12, was not with the disciples when Jesus came. So the other disciples told him, hey, we have seen the Lord. But he said to them, unless I see the nail marks in his hands, and I put my finger where the nails were, and put my hand into his side, I won't believe. Well, a week later, his disciples were in the house again, and Thomas was with them. And though the doors were locked, Jesus came and stood among them and said, peace be with you. And then he said to Thomas, just Thomas, put your finger here and see my hands. Reach out your hand and put it on my side. Stop doubting and believe. And Thomas said to him, what a special moment. Just him and Jesus, it would almost seem. Thomas said to him, my Lord and my God. And then Jesus told him, because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed. Thomas had quite the special moment really there. I know others were gathered around, but it was really all to himself. And God uses his situation to remind everyone that those who come to Jesus without getting to touch his hands and his feet are especially blessed by him because they have an incredible faith. It's kind of cool, I think. But I still don't think Thomas liked waiting. Governor Cuomo announced yesterday an extension to the stay-at-home order. May 15th, he said, before we even have any hope of returning back to much of what we would call normality. And that seems like forever away. You gotta wait once again, I guess. And for this one, there just is no good punchline. So what do? Well, we stay patient, I suppose, because there's nothing you can do other than that, which will make you anything but crazy. And think a little bit about Thomas and how special that moment was to him when it finally came, even though he had to wait all that time. He probably wished it came sooner, sure. But hey, that time eventually came. And it was pretty doggone special. Listen, eventually we'll be able to get back at it. And just think how special it's really going to be when that time comes. Until then, how about you do this? Give someone else a phone call who might be just as sick of waiting as you are. Tell them a joke. But you better make sure it has a better punchline than mine did. But just call them. Have a conversation. Lighten somebody's day. Be patient. Keep waiting. It's going to be wonderful when the time comes. We'll see you tomorrow.